and Aphelios Nautilus having edge in their personal lane matchups. And then can OMG blow that up between the Taliyah, the Wukong, Taliyah having access to really get out and active on the map to help drive home these winning side lanes. Ayard on my screen, and he's like running up like the river as the Baron spawns, because, you know, Baron actually goes from like bot to top through the river. Yeah, so they need to incorporate it in the League. You know, League refuses to blend their IP with other things, which I kind of like about League's IP, frankly. I think it keeps it neat and pure, and it's actually a really cool, I think, business strategy they used, as everyone else combos. Speaking of comboing.
As we say it, yeah, Henna's getting comboed right now, waiting for Juhan to join the fray as well. Henna flashes away, going to be matched by Starry, and a second dredge line connects from Moham. That's first blood for OMG, and they're going to make it potentially a second, but Xiaoxia says stand beside that caster minion, and will get on out of there.
Could get Henna out of, like, potentially a game warping trouble. And then Xiaoxia can be the one that can really interrupt a lot of this stuff. Between him and Liang Chen, they really want to hold the front line for Henna. I think a lot of how they're going to posture. I'm curious to see who ends up marking the front line and who ends up marking the flank. GOL this one. As Liang Chen not being able to base. Harry getting some nice poke down. Liang Chen actually quite low. Couldn't tell if he had any cookies to eat. Does look like he might have snagged one, though. We'll at least get the experience for this wave. But Harry doing a nice job of keeping pressure on this top side. And Juhan going to continue to make things difficult for the Liangshan. The base is alt cast, and you got to imagine next wave he's dead.
Yeah, still one more proc on that Cyclone. We'll see if it expires before he can get in. He actually ends up using it. Gets canceled by the Pathmaker. Liangshan still has the all out, but the flash will be utilized to get himself away. But Juhan will follow and land the kill with the crushing blow.
Now it's just going to be about, you know, they have the 3 grubs. They have a gold lead. Can they really take the map fast enough to get far enough ahead to snowball Ultra Prime out of this game early on before they slingshot back? Which, curious if OMG can do so.
Having a little bit of mid-game agency, Sleepy Trouble Bubble does connect onto Moham, but that Paddle Star does not. We'll continue this cat and mouse game now around the red buff. And Moham says, screw that, we're just going to go straight in. Lands the Flap Step Charge onto Grizzly, but now comes the re-engage, and it is a big one at that, with Saber getting the first kill onto Moham, and Henna now dashing over, transcended onto Starry, lands the slow and the laser, and goes in onto Starry and takes him down. A big answer for UP in the enemy jungle as they go 2-0 in the fight.
Charge to connect. You might be able to save the dredge line. It's also a great way for you to proc Aftershock, or I guess chain it, since it would have been proc by depth charge, but I just don't think that Moham needs to make that play, especially into the Jarvan. That is not the right target you're looking for in that scenario. And those are 2 big kills that go over to Ultra Prime, as they're going to find a third with Harry going down to the top side.
It's a bit of a beneficial trade overall. You get the first tower.
Picking Jarvan, in which case I also have to question why Moham just didn't lead with a flash dredge line. I think that's better than flash depth charge, especially if you're going to throw the Q not to even, like, chain the dredge line. It's kind of weird. And
now Juhan just gets locked down by the concussive blows. Xiaoxia finishing off that kill. And another one going into the hands of Ultra Prime. They have killed 4 straight members of OMG since that 2-0 advantage was given. Haven't been able to make the most of that composition that we were saying. Could be a little bit fast-paced. They try to turn it on its head with a fight around the Rift Herald, though. Dredge line goes onto Xiaoxia, but doesn't do much after that.
Rocks were wasted.
The Trouble Bubble does land onto Harry. They're going to fully collapse onto the most fed member of OMG, and they should be able to take him down with ease. That's Saber picking up that kill. The response is to Xiaoxia, but Ultra Prime are able to claim that Rift Herald, a 1-for-1 that they will very much take.
And the Dragon, it has been OMG sleeping on this, but Grizzly has been wide awake from hibernation in terms of locking these down on time. As the comp that we decided was the scaling comp, spawning into this one, Grapes.
Even in those matchups in the LCK Challengers League, Grizzly had the better stats, just wasn't able to get the wins, as his team was just not as good.
Yeah, Grizzly for me is a very interesting story, and see if we have any time for story time here.
He's going to be the main story of this one as he goes in to get the tower, but has to flag and drag defensively. Meanwhile, already Moham has gone down, so it's a 5v4 in favor of Ultra Prime. Hai Chao looking to chase down Henna.
Kind of holding out for hopefully good opportunities in the LCK. And some of the motivation between being held onto, as Harry's going to get ulted and derail my point.
Chance in a 2v1. We'll see. Nearing that overheat, but not going to be able to get it as Grizzly. He's having a good game, so you can continue to hype him up here, Cubby.
Outside of Knight, you know, who we have in this league, and he's run this league. For Grizzly, I mean, he's been on HLE this entire time. He was a good Challengers League player when he really didn't pan out for his chance at the higher level, and that chance came too early because it was off of...
And now it will be Grizzly starting off the Ocean Drake for Ultra Prime.
We have Xiaoxia and Liangshen both in front. They don't need to watch the flanks given the vision they have. OMG's playing from so far behind. They can afford to put both in front. This
immediately finds the hook onto Liangshen. Not the priority target that they're looking for. The Weaver's Wall does split up the fight, and Liangshen is a little bit separated from the remainder of his team. Here goes Juhan, going to make it a 50-50, and he does get the Dragon. It'll cost him his life, but that is a big win for OMG as they stalled the game out for a little bit longer.
Not the prettiest series of events from either of our teams here at Grapes. As I think OMG walking away with a Dragon and only down 1 is probably the best case scenario, but Haichao, brother, what are you doing walking in that brush?
Not supposed to be there, as another kill makes it a 2-for-0 instead of a 1-for-0.
Yeah, I would love to see another look at that Dragon, because I feel like, you know, this past week I had the privilege of coaching some kids in a combine, and the majority of which had like never played in OQs, so it's very much a, you know, new player perspective. That looks like a Dragon setup from maybe straight out of that combine. We definitely would have talked about the,
hey,
you know...
Group Nirvana, basically the combine of the LPL. I take it back.
Walking into that brush is ballistic. I'm so glad he died, sincerely.
We're going to go for more here as Juhan already popped the cycle. The target will be Xiaoxia. They get him first, but it'll come at the cost of Juhan's life. Remember, the Baron buff also exists here for Ultra Prime, so any kills that they get will be even potentially more structures falling with these empowered minions crashing in. So it will be a 1-for-1, but Ultra Prime's going to take it as they crack open this bot tier 1.
As the minions crash in, I'd like to crash out about Haichao walking into that embankment brush. That's actually a kind of a nice adaptation from Ultra Prime. As Liangshen being down TP, Grizzly could reach the fight faster if one were to break out bot, and has a nice attack speed steroid and can handle himself in the mid lane. So I actually kind of like that setup rotation. Does give Ultra Prime 2 inner turrets off a nice play from Grizzly. Game comp. So I think this has been a positive for Ultra Prime, what we've seen so far.
Going to look to potentially finish off this game in a clean fashion with the taking of this Ocean Soul. We'll see if Juhan can get another steal. Not in the pit just yet. He gets knocked up by the Glacial Fissure. So it will be the Ocean Soul secure, but it comes at the cost of potentially some lives being lost. Liangshen already at half HP. Juhan, though, just gets eaten alive and taken down. And Grizzly will capitalize by landing that Cataclysm onto Harry. Starry out of position right now. Does land a big Moonlight Vigil and chunks down the front line of Ultra Prime. But Henna will dash forward and take down his opposing ADC. Only Moham remains on the map right now, as it'll be a 4-for-0 plus the Soul. Ultra Prime winning everything on the bottom side of the map.
Where Haichao and Starry are standing in that fight, it does make life impossible for Juhan. I'd be very bad and upset if I were him. I can't play out the fight the way I want to.
Talking about Baron poke, we're going to see that here as Grizzly and Henna are on a 2-man mission with Saber and Liangshen providing havoc onto the opposition. It looks like the target will be Xiaoxia, but he flashes over the wall. The Baron secured already by the J4, and Juhan just gets in there a little bit too late. Cataclysm enforces a flash from both bot laners, and Henna is now transcended. Gets eaten up here by that seismic shove, and the Moonlight Vigil is big, but will it be big enough? Don't think so, as only Haichao will remain in terms of carries for OMG. It's 4 kills for the cost of Henna, with the Baron also going Ultra Prime's way.
Taking those early Dragons in the appropriate windows really slowed down OMG. Saber had a really good game on this Zoe, the first time we've seen him play the Zoe in the past 2 years. And I think Ultra Prime can actually walk away with a lot of positives. You know, the first time we saw these guys play up against LGD in that series,
going to be in a great position to close things out. They had the potential, the opportunity to do so last time, but decided to instead just go for a reset, go for the higher percentage play. Grizzly gonna get targeted here. Flag and Drag does buffer that.
That's a hell of a buffer.
Crowd control, so he will be able to get out relatively safely. Still
I
has his ultimate as the rest of Ultra Prime is breaking open this top lane tier 3 turret.
And look like one of those buffers I don't really see in my solo queue when I'm playing at 50 ping.
Yeah.
That was a nice one there from Grizzly.
Here as Saber does land another bubble onto Haichao. He's been eating them all day, and he will get taken down by Grizzly. Moham underneath the tower that has been destroyed beneath his feet will make it a quick 2-for-0 in favor of Ultra Prime once again. The big carries here still available, Starry notably one of them, but it should not matter as in go Ultra Prime, and down goes OMG. UP with a clean, clinical game 1 will take an early lead in this best-of-3 series.
But that 5-second stun on Q can be really valuable in the champions like Sion, like Nocturne, like Rakan, for trying to win that front line. And with Trundle and Rek'Sai, that's a front line that I think is really winnable here for OMG early on in the game. So
just a little bit of a trade of summoner spells there as Juhan goes for an early invade onto these Raptors.
Okay. I mean, yeah, this is interesting.
Oh, he's
fine.
level 2?
He's going to get 2 camps here, potentially.
And now he just
Grizzly
immediately outduels Grizzly. Might try to secure this with a smite. Grizzly does. He hits level 2 and has the red buff for a little bit extra healing. And does get the fear onto Juhan. Flash still available to try to land that chomp. But Grizzly, after going for the invade onto the red buff, is going to be able to potentially escape for a little bit longer, at least delay some of Juhan's timing. Some of his as well. First blood for OMG.
Nice. I like that. Well, you know, I will say, Haichao did have a positive gold diff at points last year. So the fact that he doesn't have one now is a little concerning, because that was a real strength to his game last year. Oh boy, no flash on Trundle.
Fight here in the 2v2. Juhan going to be taken very low. Saber misses the overload. Will have to flash into tower range to pick up that kill. Nice heal from Xiaosha. Able to keep his jungler alive. And Saber still pumping out damage onto Haichao. Won't be able to finish him off though with Moham joining the fray.
With the, with the Diablo. Because like the red and the blue circles, it kind of looks like it's Diablo or Torchlight 2. Yeah.
Respect.
I'm just combining all the MMOs into one. It's like the Power World of MMOs they're advertising, you know?
This is the cross-country amount of advertisement we're about to get. OMG, as you mentioned, does get all 3 grubs, but looks like they might be punished for it. A Saber and Grizzly will be going in with the Paranoia Realm Warp combo. Liang Chan also available. And it means that Ultra Prime will get Juhan in trade for those grubs.
That's just going to be Dragon given over. I think that was the right call. So, yeah, I know Haichao didn't connect with the Emperor's Divide there, but frankly, again, I really like the direction that we're seeing from Ultra Prime in this series, Grapes. Like, we talked about early on how Nocturne Rise has to somewhat act for this bridge. It's though.
Members of Ultra Prime back to base.
That could just be conditions blown for Rift based on that. I know that Grizzly still is waiting for that Paranoia to come up, but they did use Subjugate. Oh, there's going to be an upward. Okay, they can burst it down now. I was scared that if they don't take it on this wave, like once Paranoia is back up, then that is going to be the Rift Herald for Grizzly. More so curious, though, if that ends up being the Dragon timer. That could be difficult for OMG to contest. As Grizzly, that Paranoia, this Dragon's up in a minute.
In their hands. Nobody really wants to start this Dragon up just yet, though. Now see a Ghost being popped, Paranoia being issued, and in goes Ultra Prime. Xiaosha and Grizzly the ones to lead the charge, and they're slowing down Juhan and Moham, but not being able to take anybody down just yet. Saber in with the Realm Warp, able to stop the bullet time, but he's going to get punished by Harry with the teleport of his own. A 1-for-0 in favor of OMG, forcing Hannah to flash over the wall, and that should be enough for them to claim this first Dragon for them.
Sion gets the wave in, but that's a Dragon given over, a fight 1 for OMG, and a bit of a gold lead now emerging for them. I'm just kind of curious, like, for Ultra Prime there, I know they talked about miscommunications on the Azir, because he is going to be in a nice spot after his next recall. OMG in a nice spot now as they're collapsing on the mid to take.
Looks like Ultra Prime, though, want to punish. In goes the bomb squad again, and they're going to be able to lock down Moham and eventually take Juhan down as well. In goes Haichao, lands a 2-man Emperor's Divide, but does not get the big carries in the backline. Harry, with the ulti, is able to take one down, but it will come at the cost of his life. And now the artillery in the backline, and the scaling has arrived for Ultra Prime. Hannah untouched on the backline. Liang Chan forces a flash. And UP are able to get a big chunk of gold. That is 3 kills for the cost of 1. We talked about OMG in game number 1, not fully understanding the identity of their composition. It feels like Haichao in a similar situation this time. They are going to catch Xiaosha out, though. And so that is 1 kill back. But Haichao in these fights with this composition.
Yes, he's going to throw down that turret, and that will help ensure mid priority. I don't like that from Moham.
That solar flare. Looks like OMG are the ones who want to push the go button first, but the re-engage from Ultra Prime is big. A Realm Warp of everybody as Saber sends in the cavalry. That's the bot lane going down already on OMG's side, and Ultra Prime ignore the Dragon as they will make their way straight towards the big purple worm.
OMG, what are we doing, man? I have no words. We threw out Leona ult, Pillar, MF ult, and found nothing but 1 flash. And now, I mean, best of luck fighting this one, but like that was just so terrible to start off.
To be the hero
Xiao
here.
still hits him. Oh
yeah, the charm still hits Haichao. He dashes forward in desperation, but desperation is all that it is. Another kill into the hands of Ultra Prime. Saber has that Seraph's pop, but that shield's going to be so valuable here. A two-man knockup connects, and it's a clean 5-0 ace. A triple kill for Henna, and the Baron on top for Ultra Prime.
This is just such a terrible engage from OMG. Like this whole sequence happens because OMG completely flubs their initial engage. Okay, if we're gonna smite that one down, that's fine. Grizzly's waiting on the cooldown, but
here's the thing. You have a Zero ult, you have like, you know, this Trundle pillar, you have a big tanky Rek'Sai. It seems like if OMG just sit back and wait for Ultra Prime to engage, it almost maybe works out better for them.
But what if
they're a competition that likes to soak up that pressure and counter-engage themselves? They shouldn't be the ones to try to force a fight right there around that dragon.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think some of the timing of this game, like in a way, they do have to force because the game doesn't get better for them. I would just like to force in a better, more calculated manner because these forces have been disgusting. And not in the good disgusting way. It's been disgustingly gross.
Haichao looking for a Phoenix moment up in the top side. Not going to happen. As Grizzly goes in with the parallel.
Together for a week has been huge because I saw cohesive gameplay, cohesive ideas from them today.
Yeah.
And it's looked good. I think that Grizzly...
They have started up in Yongcheng and Henna, currently playing Bouncer, trying to make sure that OMG can't get in there. Moham goes a little bit too far forward with that Zenith Blade once again. The Valkyrie, just a beautiful counter combo here by Henna and Ultra Prime results in that first kill. Underneath the tower, they will take down Starry, and already it is a 3v5 on the map. Only one member gets hit by the Emperor's Divide, and it's not any crucial target. And Saber on the back line making quick work of Harry and Juhan. Haichao still able to survive. The health bar is ticking low for Ultra Prime, but not low enough. Henna dashes in, gets the kill onto Harry, and Juhan is forced to use the Blast Cone defensively. Haichao is able to kill the enemy jungler, which is going to be a big factor here. He goes golden, but Ultra Prime and Henna are able to time it perfectly to shut him down.
So a nice moment from Haichao, but the initial engage too good from up as we return to the scene of the crime. We're still fighting.
That Baron already taken by Ultra Prime in the front line, just way too far forward at this point. The bullet time merely tickling the mighty Scion of Liang Chen as it's a 2-0, the Baron, and now a trip down the mid lane to try to end this game and end this series, Cubby.
Yeah, well, I'd say a win you can build off of if you're Ultra Prime. Meanwhile, OMG, this looks like the team we're saying goodbye to early on here for Split 1, Graves. We need to go back to the drawing board and figure out what's going on here for OMG.
These two teams entered this season winless, but it will be Ultra Prime marching out of here with their first victory of 2026. Saber ends this game 8-1-9, and Ultra Prime will win, pick up the sweep.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.